Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking to Adrienne Folse, and she's with a company called DesignThePlanet.com. Responded to a recent request I had for people who are busy CEOs, and I recall you seemed extraordinarily busy. You got yourself involved in a lot of different things, and I believe family as well. Kind of tell us, first of all, your company story and a little bit about your story as well, and welcome, Adrienne.
Wow, how much time do you have?
Not a lot, so you got to hurry up and talk more and think less.
I started a design and branding company out of my house about 15 years ago, and I started it purposefully out of my house so I could have my kids. So I had my kids, and that way I could work out of the house. And eventually I had like 3 or 4 employees who were all working here with me, and figured out it was time to move it out of the house. And at that point, both of my kids were a couple of years old. Of course, at that point, we had also gone through Katrina, which was a life-changing experience.
What part? Where are you in the New Orleans area, or?
Yeah, we're in New Orleans.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
And so after that, I'd moved into regular office space and have just taking on a few more employees. Since then, we've grown into more of a branding agency where we mostly help companies that are franchising or hoping to go to multi-location, improve their concepts. So I spend most of my time doing that. It requires a little bit of travel, not too hectic at this point. My kids are now, my daughter is 8 and my son is 10, and I love what I do, and it gets me up every day. And me and my husband, we work together a little bit within the business, and we also exercise a lot together. We do P90X. We're very active, so a lot going on.
Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. So how do you juggle it all? Tell me about some of the techniques that you're using to keep your life sane in an otherwise potentially insane world.
As well, I do watch the time. A lot, because it's easy. I get very carried away with my job because I love what I do. But I have like 15 alarms on my phone that'll remind me, hey, you need to go pick up your daughter at dance, or okay, you need to go home now, or even the staff meeting starts in 5 minutes. So I use my phone a lot to help me keep organized and remember that I've got to get to the next task. I've also just set some guidelines to make sure that I do have time to spend with my family. Like the morning time is with my family. I don't even get to work, and I get to work at about 10 o'clock every day. Mm-hmm. And because my morning time is my family time, and we walk our kids to school, we feed them breakfast, I make them lunch just like anybody's mom, and then after we drop them off, we work out. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm at the office, and I'm there from 10 until about 7 o'clock at night. So it's a little bit different for some people. So it's a little bit I have a little bit less time in the evenings, but my quality time with the family is in the morning.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So tell me a little bit about the type of clientele you deal with, a little bit about kind of a sketch, an overview of them.
My clients?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. We work with some regional and local companies that have a couple of locations. We do a lot of website development. So we developed the Mignon Faget website, which was phenomenal. Working with Mignon and her team was phenomenal with her distribution across all of the United States and other places. It's incredible. We've worked with the people at Pat O'Brien's and with their couple of locations. Currently, we're working with Painting with a Twist, and I'm in the research phase, which means I've got to go visit several of their best functioning locations, best performing, to do the research on site to figure out what's making it perform so well, to help them really get to the next level. We're helping them get from 100 locations to 200 locations.
Okay, gotta love that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you consider yourself and you consider yourself primarily a regional business, but you're growing a national footprint.
That's exactly right.
I think that kind of sounds like what you guys are trying to do, and I like the sound of that. And and so I think of your babies when they were during Katrina, they were little.
Oh yes, actually, my daughter was in Katrina. My daughter was 6 months old, so we your kids are that young. Every time there's a hurricane, we leave. So we lived in Baton Rouge with my family for about a month. And then after about a month, we came home on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Happy birthday. It actually was. It was exciting, though. We came home, and we were the only people in our whole neighborhood who were here. So it was insane because it was so quiet outside. There was nothing. But there was, luckily for us, I consider us lucky. We had no major destruction of our house, and we didn't have any flooding. We live in a pretty darn good area, and the office building that we were in, the National Guard used it as a post. So luckily, I had an office and a house to come back to with my small children. So we did come back as soon as we knew that we would have a little bit of help and a few people would be around. But then the bills start pouring in, and you've got no work.
Yeah. Well, we had Hurricane Ike not too long after yours, I guess, about 3 or 4 years later, and that's what people don't get. Oh, you turned out okay, yeah, but I can't tell you how many of my clients didn't turn out so okay, and so it has, everyone pays slower. A lot of people immediately almost disappear entirely, and it gets a little scary.
It definitely very, very, very scary, and the thing is, people are just busy taking care of regular stuff. Where are my employees? How can I get this back up and running? Are we going to have power? When will we have phones? So they're taking care of all the basic stuff. So, improving their brand or their website, or they're just not priorities at that point. So it took us. We went back and did the math. It took us almost 4 years to get back up to the level of production and that we had done before going into Katrina.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's incredible. Adrienne, I appreciate you spending time talking to us about your story. DesignThePlanet.com, cool website, cool name. I like that. I'm glad you do not have modest ambitions. You want to take over the whole planet. She's going to take over the world. So anyway, you can monitor her doing that over there at DesignThePlanet.com. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you the best content here often shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. You're listening to The Price of Business.